Hey there, welcome to the Q platform. In this first tutorial, I'll attempt to show you how to download Q, install it, and create your first app. Well, I hope your day's going well. By the way, if you go to platform.cubix.com, you'll be able to see the whole platform portal, including documentation and so forth. So let's get started. Q is hosted on GitHub. So the first thing we want to do is simply clone the repository, like so. All right, well, that was pretty straightforward. Now, Q comes with a bunch of things, including an optional dependency on Node.js. Q uses Node.js to do things like send offline notifications when things happen in your app to people's phones, send transactional emails, and enable real-time chat, stuff like that. So you simply do npm install, and that will go to town installing all the node modules. In fact, if you go to the technology stack, make sure that you have PHP installed, MySQL installed. I use MariaDB, but it's the same thing pretty much. Node.js, and your users will probably make use of these things, their browsers, to use your app. All right, anyway, Q has been completely installed. Now, the next thing we'd like to do is take this template and create an app from it. So we simply copy it. Let's call our app first. Otherwise, it'd be called Hello World, right? So to install this app, first let me open the first app in TextMate. I'll go into this folder structure in a lot more detail in future tutorials. But right now, just know that every Q app has a standard folder structure so that once you know Q, you can pick up any app and start working with it. Or you can work on a team and collaborate. So all these folders are meant to be checked into your repository, especially if you work on a team. But there's one folder that won't be, and that happens when you configure the app, which is next. In the scripts Q folder, you'll find a bunch of scripts you can use with your app. So the first one that you have to do is configure this template, which basically goes through and replaces everything with the word first, where appropriate. So it tells you what to do next. Edit the config in this folder. This folder has just been created. That's the folder that contains all of your local information, such as local paths, including where Q is located for PHP and Node, as well as local configurations, such as ports, where you access your app from. So in this case, it will be actually this. I'll tell you why later. This on my computer, this is how I access my apps. This you can delete. And now let's configure the database. You see, there's a lot of functionality that comes already done for you. In this case, in plugins, users and streams. But it needs a database. So let's create that next. Let's call it the same as the app. And it's very good to use UTF-8 as a default encoding. It supports many languages and so forth. So having created your database, you now create a user that can access this database, and only this one, for security purposes. So you do this. Let's call this user first as well. This is where you put the person's password, this user's password. In this case, just some random password. We'll copy that. MariaDB does not like single quotes for passwords for some reason. All right, let's go back here and fill in the information. All right. Now that we've configured this, we are ready to do step 2, installing the app. Oh, there's one other thing. Once you're done configuring, you should remove this entry here. Otherwise, you'll get a warning. Now the app knows that you're done configuring, and if you try to install, some of you may hit a problem like this. Cannot connect to DB. Even though we've put in all the information, make sure that your string over here, the DSN string, is correct. In this case, we're not using a socket to connect. We're using ports. So please make sure you're connecting to the database the right way. Okay, we're finally ready to install. Here we have a nice installer. We just filled a bunch of tables in the database and did a bunch of other things as well. As you can see, Q has been installed first, then the users plugin was installed, then the streams plugin, and finally your app, which depends on those things. You can use this installer later on to install more plugins and just to manage things on your team. If I am to look at this database, it's now been filled with different tables for the users plugin as well as for streams. So anyway, now that the app's been installed, we need to actually visit it from the web. So on my machine, this is how I do how I visit it. Here is my app, and this is the folder that's exposed to the web. All right, now I simply go into the browser and type in mbp local/first. mbp local is how my computer appears on my local network. There we go. This app, out of the box, is able to do a lot of things. For one thing, it's able to let you log in. If you provide an invalid phone number, it'll tell you. You could use your phone number or email to create an account. So let's create an account now. This should be a valid one, but it doesn't actually exist. Nobody has this number, I think. All right. All this functionality has been done for you. Now, you notice that I haven't set up a password yet. That's because the way the Q signup works is very streamlined. Only I'm now supposed to get an SMS on my phone if that was my real phone, and if this computer could send out those SMSs, and then I would confirm it. But until I confirm it, I can change my phone number as much as I want. See this text here, or this text here? I can easily change it. This I'll show in future tutorials, but for example, the dashboard contains this text here. See? So I'm going to just take this away and put something like the following. Just as an example. So since I'm logged in, it should say hi. And when I log out, it'll say bye. That's just an example. But this app also works on mobile phones. So here, for example, is the mobile version of our app and the mobile experience. If I log in with the same number, since I haven't confirmed yet my phone, it offers me to reconfirm it. Or if someone else tried to sign up with my account and now it's finally me, then I can create my own thing. Bob Saget, if you're watching this, you know what to do. So anyway, now Bob and I both have said that this is our account, but whoever actually confirms that phone will get that account. As you can see, all the stuff is already being done for me, and here are the two users that were created, both with the same pending number. So you don't have to worry about user sign up or anything like that. Just start building your app. And how to build your app? Well, I'll tell you in the future tutorials. Well, I guess that's it. If you have any questions or you just want to chat, you know what to do as well. Thank you very much.